Dear friends and family, as you know, we are finishing up our summer as participants with Amigos de las Americas in Paraguay.
We have spent 7 weeks here, 6 of them living with the host family in a small rural community in the state of Paraguay.
There have been so many things we have experienced ever since stepping onto the airplane.
It might be hard for us to explain it all at once, and that might be frustrating for all of us. We know that more details of our experience will come with time. Please be patient with us if we're not ready to share all of it just yet.
What we do know is that we have learned a lot about ourselves this summer. Some of those things include:
I have learned how to be more open to new experiences and not be afraid of trying new things.
Something that I learned this summer is that I have to stop judging people so that when I see them, instead of initially judging them, I have to realize where they're from in life versus where I'm from in life, and then how that changes my perspective on them, instead of initially being like, oh my God, what are they doing? But actually being like, oh, wow, they're from Paraguay and their culture is this versus my culture. And actually it's not weird, it's really normal. Just to me it was different. And that's something I learned this summer, is to stop judging people.
Something I learned in Paraguay is how to peel mandioca, and I did it almost every night.
I learned to not let what I perceive as my limitations to intimidate me and to just go and attack them.
I've learned how strong I can be and how independent.
My experience was I liked it. It was challenging though, very challenging. I got to deal with personalities that I wasn't used to, and I also had to deal with myself. Adjusting wasn't hard for me, but yet again, everyone's different.
This summer, I learned that people can always surprise you if you give them the opportunity to do so. I think that if you go into any situation with an open mind and an open heart and open ears, you can always figure out a solution.
I learned that you can have several realities and different perspective in your own country, because I'm from another city here in Paraguay, and I went to the community and I have seen a very different reality. So that's it. You cannot generalize everything. You always have to be specific about everything.
What I learned in Paraguay about myself is that sometimes you need to be a leader and step up, but to be a leader, you also need to know when to step back and let other people lead.
This summer, I learned that failure is inevitable, and that coming through and understanding that it's just part of the process is important to finding success in life.
This summer, I learned that even though there's super hard times, it always comes out on the brighter side.
I learned to be more independent for myself, and constantly checking and making sure I manage my time properly, because I lived quite a bit away from the main part of the community, and I learned how to cook some good Paraguayan food.
Well, my Amigos experience was amazing. It's kind of hard to put it into different compartments, kind of tell one story, but my Amigos experience really, I didn't change, but I really grew, and I really learned a lot about a culture that I ended up loving and preferring over my own, and I learned how to make beiju. I learned how to literally dissect a chicken that was running around alive 2 minutes ago. But I also learned a lot more than that. I learned how to listen, how to be supportive, how to just take a backseat and really let yourself grow.
So I think I've learned the true meaning of family, which sounds really crappy for my family in the U.S. However, family isn't necessarily who you're born with. It's kind of who you choose to spend your time with and who you feel you can really connect with on a different level. And even though there's a language barrier, I feel like the entire community really connected with us. And I just feel like I grew a lot closer to many people, and it was really great.
I learned a lot of stuff in Paraguay, how to make tortilla, which is really good. Use eggs, flour, salt, and milk or cheese, and you can add ham or onions and whatnot. Yeah.
I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about the people around me, and then I learned that my family back home and my family here are always going to be there for me, and that anytime that I need someone to talk to or anything, that I can always go back to them. And I also learned how to make masitas.
Different, because this culture is very different, but in a good way, because you learn like their ways, and then you can use them, or like, yeah, you can use them in your own culture when we go back home, and then like use that to your ability and like better your community that way, because there were great aspects of like my community that I can use back at home.
Exciting.
Challenging.
Awesome.
Unforgettable.
Enlightening.
Life-changing is a good word.
Life-changing. No, that's 2 words. But
It's okay.
Rico.
Despierta el día, un sol radiante que nos hace sonreír. El río amado pasa cantando así de alegría. Roja la tierra, verdes praderas, y el amanecer nos canta de esplendor. Y en primavera, soñando está el amor que maravilla. Es el continente, corazón latente que palpita fuerte y canta de emoción. Oh, es americano, un país hermano que te abraza y te da su corazón.